Freshman year it was my honors seminar. It was called Women or Gender and Bodies. And then I took women's literature my sophomore year.
I know that I've only taken one class through an ACE credit that was anything that had anything to do with diversification.
I've taken Intro to Women's Studies and Gay and Lesbian Literature.
Yeah, I think that the English department in particular does a really good job of that. I think that really, if you look at literature, it's really, especially with like kind of the revision of literary canon recently, that we've just kind of discovered these more women and some of these great women writers and some of these great black and you know. We get to continue to find these, you know, interesting and thought-provoking books that, you know, we as a society are just learning that are interesting and thought-provoking.
Classes, I can't honestly tell you because I don't feel like if there is, they're not promoted enough to actually know that there is a certain amount of classes that are offered and a certain amount of majors and minors just because the information is not out there.
The literature class, I don't think it really made a difference so much just because I think the guys, I don't know, the literature class, it wasn't so much about women's issues, it's more just reading different works by female authors, or like sometimes the books would have women's issues into the plots, but that class didn't matter so much. But the other one, I could definitely tell that the guys were just like, yeah, like agreeing with what the females are saying because they didn't want to like stir the pot on some controversy or like say something offensive about females and then only have like one other person to back them up. But I think now that there are so many more, I don't know how to phrase this, like things going on in society like regarding gender, like the whole like bathrooms thing and like transgender and all that going on. I think it's important to be knowledgeable about that and be knowledgeable about not only like women and gender studies, but just like being not ignorant in general for society.
I think the people that want to take them are going to take them, and I think the majority of people who want to be English majors are going to be those sorts of people that want to take those. So I don't know if that's really a problem that the university itself can address, because that's more of just a perception problem with, you know, people our age, or just really people in history. So I think the university is doing, especially the English department, is doing all they can in a lot of ways.
I think they definitely can promote it more, especially with more people changing universities and the world getting more diverse, cultures becoming more apparent to people and being out there, and then the way we view them because we don't actually know what's going on. I definitely think it could be promoted more, that people actually get that diversification in their life because of the culture that we live in and what we know compared to what other people have lived in. And instead of just throwing us in something that we're so used to, we get to know someone else's life path. We get to know what's going on with their current history. We get to know where we stand, where they stand, and I think it could be promoted a lot more just because you don't see it as much. You don't ever see that diversification of welcoming you to get their knowledge and them to understand your knowledge.
I think we as people can't or shouldn't, we can, I don't think we should live comfortably. And so I think a lot of people get comfortable in their own dynamic with their own sense of diversity and like cognition, and I don't think that's a very fruitful life at all. And so I think we really need to have that dialogue, and especially looking at like what's going on in today and just like going on Facebook even, or watching the debates, or watching basically any news source, like things have got to change. And so I think we need to be more open and respectful, and if you hear more about someone's perspective that's very different than yours, you might grow a sense of empathy that you didn't know you could have.